Here with reaction to all of this is Governor Mike Huckabee. Good evening, Governor.
Good evening, Judge.
A very dark day and a very long day in Charlottesville, a city that was once one of light, stained by what has happened today. What is your take on the events of today?
Judge, I've got a special repulsion to white supremacists, and it's part because I'm white. It's part because I have seen this evil and hateful attitude that elevates some people above others. And as a believing Christian, I'm especially offended because anybody who believes the Bible, especially the Gospels, will have to accept that there is no way that God is a respecter of persons, as the Scripture makes clear. He doesn't love some people more than others because of their color, because of their affiliation even with Him. And so I find it just disgusting and repulsive. And I don't know of anybody who is doing anything other than condemning the violence and condemning the very spirit of white supremacy. I find it as disgusting as I do those who say that some people have a greater right to live. It's why I'm pro-life, Judge. How can I say that I believe the Gospels, that every person has equal worth before God, every person has intrinsic value, but some people aren't really as valuable as others? And that's why I'm pro-life, and it's why I'm so repulsed by the idea of white supremacy.
Governor, what do you say to those people who say that the president wasn't specific enough, he wasn't hard enough? And, you know, I have to tell you, I mean, he condemned in the strongest possible terms the egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. It's been going on for far too long. It has no place in America. We need a swift, you know, restoration of law and order. Are these just Trump haters who just will look for any reason to dump on the president?
Well, it seems like that a lot of them are. I don't know what they expect the president to do. At the time that he made the comment, the driver of the car had not even been identified.
Exactly.
Nothing had been
right.
attributed to him at that point. And so what is he supposed to say? Is he supposed to do what Barack Obama used to do and jump to a conclusion and make a decision about something like he did in Ferguson, Missouri, which turned out to be totally untrue?
Wrong.
The president has to be careful in taking steps. I thought what he condemned was what we all could immediately condemn, and that is the violence, the car. Some coward in a car drove into innocent people to try to kill them. Now, he condemned that. What else is he supposed to do at that point? I mean, some have criticized him because he said violence on
Governor,
all sides.
hold on 1 second. On the screen right now is the individual that we just referenced, James Alex Fields. This is a man who is in custody right now. The Washington Post is saying that he is the individual who is responsible for the drive in the crowd today. You're looking at 20-year-old James Fields. Governor, go ahead.
Well, I hope this individual, and I don't care what his philosophy is, but I hope he's prosecuted as a domestic terrorist, because that's what he is. So I'm not hesitant to call him that. He's a terrorist. What he did was vile. He attempted murder, and he murdered a person. This was not just a vehicular homicide. This was intentional murder. And so I am glad he's in custody. I hope that he is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and that
sure
there's no mercy on this person.
And you know what, Governor? Of those 9 that were injured, in addition to the one who was deceased, 5 are in critical condition. So we don't know what's going to happen throughout the course of the night. But let me quickly ask you before I come up against a break. What do you say to those individuals who say that the alt-right are white nationalists?
Well, I think most of the people who use that term don't even know what it means. What is alt-right? What is that supposed to mean? Is it a person who is more conservative than they are? Then do we also condemn the alt-left? I think we ought to stick to individuals. And rather than giving people labels that may not be very definable, let's stick to when people do something that is horrible, let's just call it horrible, rather than trying to identify it with a political ideology.
All right. Governor Mike Huckabee, thanks so much for being with us this evening.
Always a pleasure, Judge.
All right.